alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you to our weekly briefing. As you are aware, you have been following the developments. The nation is resolutely braving the disastrous consequences of the climate-induced calamity. Disruption of lives and livelihoods, destruction of infrastructure, and devastation brought about by the unprecedented rains and floods across various parts of Pakistan is really heart-wrenching. Over 33 million of our compatriots are affected, millions displaced from their homes and in need of shelter, and over 1,300 lives lost and more than 13,000 have been injured. The rescue and relief operations by the Government of Pakistan are continuing in all affected areas, including with support of the international community. A large number of our friends and partners have stepped forward with assistance to buttress the government-led relief efforts. Till yesterday, 50 flights carrying humanitarian assistance from various countries and organizations have reached Pakistan. Along with that, many countries and international organizations have extended cash or in-kind assistance. We are thankful to the international community for their generous support in this hour of need. As previously informed, UN Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres will be visiting Pakistan for 2 days from tomorrow as an expression of global solidarity and support for Pakistan. The Secretary General will meet the Prime Minister, visit the National Flood Response and Coordination Center, have a joint presser with the Prime Minister and hold talks with the Foreign Minister, followed by a joint press takeout here at the Foreign Office, besides other engagements, all related to the flood response. He will also visit areas most affected by flooding, including in Balochistan and Sindh, where he will meet first responders and interact with people displaced by the floods. He will also have a press talk at Karachi Airport tomorrow evening, having personally witnessed the situation in several flood-hit areas. We will be sharing further details about this extremely important visit and keep you apprised of the Secretary General's activities while he is in Pakistan. During the week, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif received Turkish Minister for Interior, Turkish Minister for Environment, the Chairman of Turkish Disaster and Emergency Management, and Director General of Turkish Low-Cost Housing Agency accompanying the delegation. The Prime Minister expressed his profound gratitude to President Erdogan for his phone call to offer sympathies and for dispatch of immediate humanitarian relief assistance for the flood affectees. The Prime Minister also had a telephonic conversation with the Emir of State of Qatar. The Prime Minister thanked the Emir for relief support provided by Qatar, including the air bridge established by Qatar for the provision of goods and equipment, as well as establishment of a field hospital in Sindh. On the same day, in a telephonic conversation with the Prime Minister, Prince Rahim Aga Khan conveyed the message of good wishes from Aga Khan and announced a donation of $10 million to help flood victims. On 5th September, a U.S. Congressional delegation led by Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee called on the Prime Minister, who expressed satisfaction at the upward trajectory in the Pak-U.S. relationship and underlined the need for a constructive and sustained engagement based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. The Prime Minister appreciated the flood relief assistance being provided by the U.S. He noted that the Congressional delegation's visit would help enhance global awareness of the scale of destruction caused by the superfloods in Pakistan and mobilize greater support. Later the same day, the Congressional delegation also called on the Foreign Minister, who appreciated the delegation's visit to Pakistan at a time when superfloods had ravaged the country and highlighted the government's full engagement and response in the challenging situation. On 2nd September, the Foreign Minister received telephone call from the Foreign Minister of the UAE, who reaffirmed their solidarity with Pakistan. The Foreign Minister thanked him for UAE's strong support for flood-affected people of Pakistan. You're aware of the humanitarian air bridge that is continuing to operate between UAE and Pakistan. The same day, Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia called Foreign Minister Bilawal to express solidarity with Pakistan. The Foreign Minister thanked him for continued assistance for the people of Pakistan. On September 1, the Foreign Minister received telephone call from Dr. Hussein Amir Abdullahian, Foreign Minister of Iran. He conveyed condolences on the loss of lives and material damage to the floods. Yesterday, the Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka called Foreign Minister Bilawal to convey condolences and solidarity for the flood-affected people of Pakistan. We thank the international community for standing with us in these difficult times. This support and solidarity means a lot when the entire nation, every individual, businesses, civil society and organizations are coming forward in a big way to face this colossal challenge with resilience, strength and national unity. As you would have followed, two-day international conference on promoting strategic trade controls through international cooperation was held in Islamabad on 5 to 6 September. The event was jointly organized by SecDev together with NEPS, the institute associated with NUST. Independent experts and governmental representatives from different countries, international export control regimes, including chairs of the NSG, MTCR, and UNSCR 1540 committee, as well as academia and industry participated in the conference, which was attended by over 200 participants, including 36 foreign delegates. During the inaugural session, the Minister of State underlined that Pakistan possesses the expertise, infrastructure, human resource, and the ability to supply items listed in the control list of the NSG. She emphasized the need to have objective criteria for NSG membership of non-NPT states that should be applied without discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Indian occupied forces martyred 7 Kashmiri youth in extrajudicial killing and fake encounters in Shopian, Islamabad and Rajouri areas in the past week. We condemn this unabated state terrorism resulting in cold-blooded murder of innocent civilians. India must be called to account for its grave violations of international human rights and humanitarian laws, its autocratic suspension of civil liberties, and continuing oppression of the Kashmiri people. We strongly condemn the extrajudicial killing of a Pakistani national, Tabarak Hussain, by Indian occupation forces in Rajouri. To register Pakistan's strong protest, Indian CDA was called to the ministry on 5th September. The Government of India has been called upon to share the details of the incident, including a credible post-mortem report to determine the cause of death and undertake a transparent investigation to bring to account those responsible for the murder of the Pakistani prisoner. You would have followed also, since this morning, the visit by the State Department Counselor, Mr. Derek Sholay, who has had important meetings, including with the Foreign Minister. The Foreign Minister was live briefly with the Counselor, where the Foreign Minister mentioned the continuing good momentum in Pak-US relations and the solidarity that is expressed by such visits. There was the Congressional delegation before that, and as you are aware, the US aid administrator is also in Pakistan. So all of this is welcome. There was discussion about the broader agenda, including the climate change, which has assumed great importance in the context of the recent disaster in Pakistan. With that, I would like to conclude, and I would be happy to take your questions.